Say bibi to obia bibi aya ya etu obi say onipa bi ne nyonko bi oben no obete preko pe yesu afiri mu aya se koba ne sa nipa no ya oya no ofom no die ne koso wo ne tirimu ezisonso be ne nya e wo sa eye onyane so
yo emisa bigidi say ye nyina enye den ya fa bibi say mu da bibi ya and oftentimes no say ekoba no sa no a amunumu ho no a no ube hu sa won chen da gym bi I mean say bibi say asia na hu hia say ya nipa ube go through sa processes no ebufuo bebem afi be ye wo say adie me ye ni say ana say me hu yimfu anka say you know that kind of thing bedu da bi areho bebem until ubeduru pempenso bi a ubetumi agi atumu say no correct bibi say esi the expectation is nipa bia be go through some processes as far as the emotions are concerned now we be drum pempenso no a wagi atumu eno na be boa ma when I say even say obey relieved no kra no ebe boa no but se prekope no when go through na ojitima ya na yehu say afo no wa hwe ni ye kra na bibie na atone so you know and that is why oftentimes no expect to say people need go through a gradual process no until say obeba beji atum and of course ye nyina ye gu awodo obi wo hono ma ne de no rate no be faster obi so wo ho ne de no ye kakra enti se wo na wo de ye very fast na ye wo say o na so mesi di adena wo de ade you know na asa bia wo kan bibia kwakoye to say won share the engineer or ye ni dia na say won foa no so a na wo ha nipa no more you know into yentia say we na you go through some emotional processes and egu ahodo ema ye nyina depending on of course experiences be awanya in the past
enti obia ne ne capacity
exactly
enti yentimi mfa ye bize eni ba konfa nka se we ba busua no mo we di yaw as we di oni yaw as we di enche da en ha no ana se emfa no ho sa
ni mamo example bi when obi a ebi ode ne car apim obi several times and you be a first time on your wapim obi several times no e could see shada boni hu sa o but obi a here for the very first time o si free care ni mu na hwese ni ane ho po no a you can tell say no asumesi onya bibi eti sada you know enti ye nyina you go ahodo the strength me work will be different from all the bibi a ebetumi amama boto different from also what there enti it is not for anybody at any point in time say ube trivialize the kind of situation obi woman as a result of BBIS, knowing very well that we have different capacities.
Oyaw asembi eba se yemfa ne se nipa ebi otimi gitumu ntem ene wonu ma check akra ansa na o ma dia tumu no aya ede ne ekoso wo mutirimu
well nipa no nyoma ekoso wo tirimu de bebre ebi wa adweninim ebi ede di woni ni yeyemu I mean nyoma bebre but of course empempi no ne ya yefunu pa no ye se nipa no body ni mu no ase ebeduru pompenso bi no ase tipaye obeka se omiti ne honam ye me ya nipa no na didie mu and obi owo sa situation ni mu no anhwe ni ye a ase yare bia ebo no a enya no ntempa because again yenim say science processes no ntino ne system no so be ye weekend you know and I mean say oye panyini say oye akwada you know you go through some problems no you know yenda I mean it's also a challenge I mean about even for to an among bia no you say, Adi a kwako ye, kwako ye ni say.
Mm.
I mean, it's a whole lot. And he say, ekobase, nipa no certain no a woman no support systems no anko ye very good at.
Mm-hmm.
What happens? They say, not yeah, nipa no more. And I think we can liken it to currently what are happening here.
Mm-hmm.
And then we can't wait. No, I say instilling more fear. Let's note, say Nipan already.
Mm-hmm.
It is not for us to reinforce that. Near betumi ayɛ de aboa ne nkranhyɛsɛm ma na sɛ nsɛm a sɛ bio ɛho teɛ a ɛbɛma na speed rate at which a ɛhu ne bɛfiri ne mu, and not the other way around, which unfortunately is what it appears to say you're experiencing now or your mind.
So you mentioned, sir, the setting plays a critical role in the betimi akoso nipa no ono na adwene mu yehunu sunsanso ne namu na didie mu oto de bi wo kra na ho timi dodo no kakra settings ben na yemfa ne sisi bia obi a wodo no obi a wone ne tie onyonko bi a wone ne konakra na prekope ya bebo ma ne se wafiri mu. In that situation, no settings ben na wo se owo mu se de be ye nsunsuanso bo no ya bobo so yi entumi emma anas entumi enedi.
Right. So generally I would say it's a very supportive setting. A very supportive setting where there is emotional support, there is practical support as well. Emotional support be say o manipa no hye no prime. O ma wanya anidasoɔ. O ma we hu say oh ade a asie no ya nanso no ebeye yie. Physically no sometimes we know say nipa no bi ana nea we free mu na na say bibi ato no no wo nneɛma bi a ya na ɔyɛ de boa no anti na ebi a ɔwɔ saa situation ni mu say ɛyɛ ne ya, that kind of thing. We expect to say physical assistance in terms of say obetumi ayɛ bibi bi aboa nipa no physically. No so ya na boa pa, but above all yeah, what are sabi ebe koso a emma nipa no na bobodie no enbrade. I mean, I'm just referring to a situation where I am very circumspect with what we say, how we say it, and who we say it to, because that goes a long way to impact on nipa no a ogo. And I mean, a simple scenario here. Yɛwɔ ɔman mu na biribi atɔyerɛnkyɛm bi sɛ yɛasi ebi a yɛnim nipa no kɛkɛ but yɛnni very close connection with them no yɛnhwɛ sɛ nea yɛfele nti sɛ yɛn koraa no saa na yɛfele yaw and all that a ɛneɛ na wɔn bɛn wɔn paa no wɔn situation no how is it going to be like ɛno nti na I think sɛ ɛwɔ sɛ yɛyɛ very circumspect in terms of what we say. I mean, and unfortunately, that's not what we are realizing. Social media, Adaroma. And because, I mean, I mean, the expectation is, I said, will be fully mukurampo and a bushing of one year. And yet, I mean, what would be now what access to social media? But unfortunately, bushing of one number be, I mean, imagine, say, ebi a nipa no ne ba wo school na ne mate bi wate ana wahu na ọkọ akọka kyerɛ me sɛ yɛsi sei ni sei na ɛsie. How is it going to be like? And that is why I mean, me can say, yeah. Then I go to the extent to say, no. Yes, social media, the advantages, no, a bebre by Anthony years, we are not a boy, a boy, a I was said, yeah, very proactive with these things going on. Now, I say, yeah, well, measures be I deliver to curb some of these things. And I mean, will prescribe, will say, look, for people who are found to have fallen foul of the law, no. I mean, and for those people, we should not, you're compromising on anything like that. Knowing very well, say, obi wo emotional pain more. I mean, and I say, unya kata, ewo body one. In baby, I did a drone beka. But unya cat, ewo mumua. yɛnhwɛ no saa in that ɛhe na wode aduro no bɛka. That's why emotional problems are so painful, and it is not for us to worsen anybody's situation. I mean, nipa ne koya omu na also worsen no. We bisa omu say mo na yede ye wa ebe ya oda na. I don't think so.
So if you are to assess the kind of environment nationally, you're creating, or the kind of settings that you're creating, ediama one more ashre one adeshi omudi abubu no, it's not good.
Well, you know, when some of these things happen, oftentimes, you know, some panic situation be more, and of course, because of that, you know, your reaction, it be and appropriate, but of course, with time, you realize your mother to talk to you, and I want to believe that's exactly what could be happening. My only, if you like, concern here, more or less giving blanket approval for people to I mean, that one is for me, it is not something that I agree with at all, not in the least. The reason being that, look, it's more like opening a floodgate, because look, you Bible, and Kamia is I feel like it's like and like Matthew or baby, and transport so and what kind of society are we trying to create with some of these things? It's not in the best of taste. And maybe we possibly may have to take a second look at it, because I do not think that this is something that is going to inure to our benefit.
Prof, I was a waka be as mama no ha na oka say nyina ozu thank you abasoboke say na or de ma wo the issue having to do with the psyche of a minor in times of at rentum ya etu yen you know. What do you feel? What advice afutuo ben and now the be my yen going forward? Said you bet me a create the supportive environment in times you say at rentum there anything ABC. But is it biowa as a minor the end was say yo from a mind panning for to one more one Facebook can say wadarama.
I think that first of all, and perhaps me and yen start na se nkitahudie na yebenya na ya hwɛ sɛ a legal framework and a bit media to honor as far as social media is concerned. I think that is something you should have dear because you po apa, but bibia no so no mra and she say was saying she say butter home say be ya and concombas say you misuse and I think that where we've gotten to social media is being misused. I mean, for me, honestly, that's the only thing because now look, you bet me access BIA on social media. Oh, BIA, sorry, I'll say what is social media. BIA. I mean, what their society me. Hey, I don't know, honestly, and sometimes when you're careful, now you should be now cross what baby. But I think we need to crack the whip, on anybody, regardless of your position, whoever, and then going forward, I think it's also important to say, look, penny for a war, my muhano, one kasa, set examples. You see, people look up to other people, especially people in positions of authority. As long as our authority, and I say, DBA na wuye bibi no obi ogyina nkyɛn no for say sanse wo na wuye nti no ɛne na ɛyɛ papa, but that may not necessarily be so, enti no yɛn ankasa mpanyinfoɔ no so yɛnyɛ very careful in terms of what we do, what we say, all those things are important. And I'll be honest, if it's as if say we are becoming a lawless people. It's disheartening. Say, I mean, people you expect to say, "Oh, the right thing." I will give you a very critical example. I mean, it may not sit well with certain people, but look, oye penini, uni musa wo meeting, udi meeting place no kura eshe Google whatever moi, ebe ma an estimated time I would be do one. And then I won't manage your time that way. Na udi what's so hazard the siso. Na wona mo finding fin small fine kiti. Unko de bia na utia ye na yenya yesika ye de atua taxes e de atoka no ama wa we use. Na obi ono wa pre ne ho ade ne sika ato ne car no. Person ono de ne de no koshe gatemu. Na wo de no fam. I mean, yes, emotional intelligence then I would display. It's disheartening. And I think that, I mean, we need to say it as it is. Na we penyinia, and now say we position be authority yeah. Set the right example. Now, yan so no, I can so no, yan so na yedi. Because otherwise, a bedroom baby no, na yeah helpless. Intino, when na be serious crash, and intino was a yama no. Yeah, because you before say, oh, dear, maybe na when ya oh chemwako baby. It is becoming one too many. And I think we need to take a look at that. If we are able to put in place our measures, I bemas our niyama we no it be a enkonko ye ochina ne na de it may take it time, but we will get there.
What is social media, Prof? So bonny be on the way we think and the way we do things.
I mean, rightly so, because say Osha, I mean, send me a is from Pono, the way you're socializing as a people. You're never be brave. Sebi. I mean, you're trying to say, who's na say, who's penny na uchiano krana, uchi channel. Uchi channel. I mean, is that what you who was social media? I mean, it's a. And look, we need to accept social media near the good sides, but I think that bad sides outweigh BBI and I mean, I think a very road gains and quite a year or more money and that we are future leaders. Now, almost say no. Yes, no. Maybe na activeness level no so ate. Now no control. And then no more de be. Na make say yenye careful. And yes utia ye baby a ye de wakwa akoshe yesi o 6 feet no. They say apo they say do 6 feet no. What 3 feet ntia we ni mu. Omu betu no easily. Any akwa akotu baby a ompe. And you can say it may sound funny, but I think that it was a yani epoch na near was a yade to akwan no because as a people no I think that we all need our sanity. We cannot throw away our cultural sensitivities, not at all.
And you feel so we've thrown that away, Prof. You feel that we've thrown our cultural sensitivities. You're watching it.
Of course. I mean, with what is happening, I mean, I agree. Culture is supposed to be dynamic, which means that as a science, but here there is a science there. If you want, no straight away, jump to 20. But we need to do so in a very gradual way because at any point in time, we have younger ones are almost try socialize now that I'm taking over.
If you are to be a member of the family, if you are to advise them how to ensure say they keep their sanity throughout these entire this entire period, a year you're grieving, need a what are the 3 top things I better from someone to ensure that they keep their sanity?
Yes, they did yeah. I mean, almost shedding pa. But I mean, I want to believe that currently, what they may be going through, the earlier is our stages, I mean, bubo, so say omoji atunum pose bibi say yes, I shock no ebufu. I mean, huyan kama mano anko, I mean, I am sure, say definitely, abusuafoɔ no nyinaa, including even aman mpanimfoɔ, I mean, ministers, wɔn nyinaa, because I mean, these are people they work closely. They all may be going through, some of these processes, and that is in order. Say, BB obi go through, sir. Who say it doesn't mean anything. However, we expect to say when we do our acceptance point, and as I said, it be one the content, maybe DM content to you. The expectation is that one more said you one more who are doing now we go through faster, do a certain point, it's important they are able to carry along one more almost drag, into the need for peer support. That will be very, very helpful. But then if after that kind of thing, then we expect to say closure. Closure no bar. I mean, it would mean that people would have gone beyond the acceptance point. But if it so happens to say, we not still obi woho, behaviorally, Nyoma enkoye what it means is that nipa no still untimi and getting over whatever SC, and for such people, it definitely will require that they seek professional help. And let me, use the opportunity to say empo obi adwene mu ntene no na eno nti o seek professional help it's not mean say nipa no say bread asa adwene na say and I say ni aye no even though it's not a term I'm a maybe I will not use it, that's or you're mentally deranged. No, it doesn't mean that at all, because mrano you go through visa, free, that kind of thing. And I'm saying this to serve as an encouragement for somebody emotionally, I'm feeling okay to seek help. Because you seek help, that does not demean you as a person at all.